through. Hello and welcome to Elefant Roses. My name is Katie. Yesterday I picked up my first Azure standard haul. I'm a budget shopper, so I keep a price book. I keep all my receipts, so I know how much everything costs. Right now, like in the rest of the United States, the groceries have exploded and they are really expensive right now. So to try and cut the budget, I decided to try Azure. It took me about 2 weeks to put the order together because I was comparing prices of Azure against the last time I went to the store, compared with the history of how much I was paying previous to that shopping trip as well. So I'm sure most of you have had this issue too. My grocery bill, some of the items are 2 to 3 times higher than they were even 6 months ago. And it's getting, fruits and vegetables especially have exploded. Oatmeal is another thing that has gotten really expensive. So here, a pound of oatmeal is between $4 and $5 a pound at the store. Azure, I was able to get it for, I can put the price on here, I think it was under $2 per pound, or right at $2 per pound. I'll put the price on the screen so you can see how much it cost me. And so I got a 25-pound bag of oatmeal. I got some of the buckets from Azure as well. I priced around for the price of the gas to go get them and everything. It came out about the equal. So that's why I just want Azure for the buckets with the gamma lid, so I could keep it nice and, you know, airtight, so I don't have to worry about any issues with it going stale before I can use 25 pounds. I'll definitely let you know how long it takes me to go through 25 pounds of oatmeal. I don't normally buy 25 pounds of oatmeal because that's the normal container, I think, is around 2 pounds. So this is going to take a little while to go through. My family likes oatmeal, but yeah. So what else did I get? Another item that's very hard for me to find in the Northeast is barley. I'm from the Midwest. We put barley in our soups and all sorts of different dishes. So since we moved to the Northeast, it's been really hard to find barley. So I was really happy to find it. I'm going to try it, see how well it works, if it's like the barley I'm used to. So I just bought a little bag to try. So that's the first one. So we'll get that out of the way. And then the next thing I bought, when I've tried making beans here in the Northeast, they never work. I've researched it and everything, and some things say it's because they were old beans. Maybe, I don't know why. I never had that problem when I lived in the Midwest, which is the central part of the United States for anybody who doesn't live in the United States. I never had that problem. So I got a small bag of black beans. My family likes black bean burgers. I have a recipe for black bean beet burgers. So I'm definitely going to try this, and I'll let you know how it works. Hopefully they work. Otherwise I have a whole lot of dried black beans to use. So hopefully it works. And then the next item I got, one of my children has a heart condition, so we have to try and stay eating as healthy as we can, and one of those things is using wheat flour versus all-purpose flour, aka white flour. Trying to find whole wheat bread flour is impossible. I'm sure if I went to a high-end grocery store, I could find it. At the lower-end grocery stores that I shop, I can get wheat flour. I can get King Arthur wheat flour, and that's the only wheat flour. There is no generic store brand, nothing. It's only King Arthur, and it is super expensive. So for what I paid for Azure is equal to the King Arthur wheat flour, except for this is bread flour. My bread recipes are just literally turning into pancakes because the flour is so heavy, the yeast can't push it up, aka rise. I've tried different brands of yeast. I've tried all these different things. I've tried half wheat flour, half bread flour. It still doesn't work. So I want to try this wheat bread flour that Azure had. So I grabbed a little bag. I'll let you know how it works for my bread recipes. I'm hoping it works. If I can buy a bigger bag of this, it's a whole lot cheaper than the King Arthur flour. So I'm hoping that will work. If it doesn't, I'll be back to the drawing board because I make all of our bread. I don't buy any store-bought bread. I used to, like if we went on vacation and stuff, I used to grab, you know, my kids said I was the queen of the trunk PB&Js because I used to use the trunk of the car to make and put a tablecloth on it and make PB&J sandwiches on the trunk of the car. That's our family outings because with 4 kids, going to restaurants, especially 4 teenagers, is super expensive. So I would just make PB&J sandwiches on the trunk of my car. Please leave me a comment below if I'm not the only mother who does this. Because going on outings is expensive with those kids when they hit the teen years, because all of a sudden you hit the adult prices of $20 and up for a ticket. All of a sudden the outing just turned into $100+ venture without food. So PB&J trunk sandwiches is the way to go. Just get one of those disposable tablecloths at Dollar Tree and put it on the trunk of your car. You don't have to worry about dirt or anything like that. And it's nice and clean and you're not getting the car gross or anything like that. And you just make sandwiches and pass them out to the kids. So it's a great work table. But again, leave me a comment if I'm not the only mommy that does that, or dad, because I'm sure dads do it too. In the line of black beans, I got 5 pounds of beets. Sounds really ridiculous, but beets are super expensive here. I don't know why. This is like a staple food in my world. Growing up in the Midwest, we eat turnips and beets and all those good things. And here, I won't buy a turnip. I don't know what they do to them, but it looks like a candle. They literally, it has so much wax on it. It's just, I don't know why would you wax a turnip. Doesn't make sense to me, but okay. But I found Azure did have beets, so very grateful to have these. If you're ever with somebody with a heart condition, beets do lower blood pressure. They are naturally designed to do that. The only thing you have to watch for is potassium. Some heart medicines, for those of you who don't know, you have to be really careful with their potassium levels. So beets are really super high in potassium. So you have to watch them really close with that. But if you use them in smaller quantities, you still get the flavor. And again, we love it in soups. I have a black bean burger recipe that uses beets, which sounds different, but it tastes really good. So it's a great protein source without having to use meat. So another great budget-friendly thing. So leave me a comment below if you'd like me to share that recipe with you, and I'll gladly make it on camera for you. Next item. So cheese is really super expensive. This actually, buying a 6-pound brick came in cheaper than Aldi cheese, which is our go-to. So this, Aldi, you buy them in 8-ounce bricks. So this is 12 8-ounce bricks of cheese. So the plan for this is I'm going to shred it up. I have a little digital scale that I use for my crafting, and we're going to just measure it out into 8-ounce quantities, and we're going to freeze it. So then I just got to grab an 8-ounce package of frozen cheese for any recipe, and it's equivalent to a brick of cheese. So I was really happy to find this. It's only a little bit cheaper than Aldi, but every little bit helps right now. So I think it was like 5 cents a pound cheaper, but that adds up. I mean, it can really help in the budget. So we're going to do this. This is about 2 to 3 months worth of cheese for my family. So very happy to find that deal. Next up, cornmeal. Cornmeal I can find in the store here, but it's very expensive. So that's where this came in cheaper. It's also organic, so that's really good. So it doesn't have any of the extra stuff you don't want your family to eat. So I'll let you know how this works in our cornbread recipe and corn muffins and all the other good things we make with corn. We make hush puppies. We make all sorts of recipes. If you want to know more, leave me a comment below, and I'll definitely put together a recipe of a list of different recipes I use this for. So again, I got a small bag to try. If it works, I'll get bigger bags in the future. The next thing, dried cranberries. Another heart healthy food. I use this in cookies, breads, etc. It's a great to grab snack for the one with the heart condition. This ended up being half of the Walmart price per pound for cranberries. Here in the Northeast where I live, I'm in the Northeast of the United States, buying it in the bags that are offered at the store. I compare nutritional value of both. They're almost identical. I was so happy to find this. It's got cranberries, cane sugar, and sunflower oil are the only ingredients, which is pretty much the same as I get. I think they're probably even healthier than what I get at Walmart, and they were half the price per pound. So I was so ecstatic to find this. So that is definitely a really good bonus. And then the next thing is brown rice. Again, I got a small bag to try. I can only get brown rice at one of the budget stores that I can go to. And no offense, the brown rice is gross. It's got stones in it. It's got debris in it. It's got, I mean, you sit there and you have to sift through your own rice to be able to cook it for your family, and you feel like you're just wasted your money because it just tastes awful to boot. So you go through all that work, and then you have to almost beg your family to eat it because it's good for them, but it tastes awful, and you went to all that work, and I'm tired of it. I mean, this is it's not the best deal. It's equivalent to what I pay now. I'm hoping it's a better quality, because if it is, then it's worth every penny. Again, with being on a budget, you still try to eat healthy. You try to have your family eat healthy. So I'm really grateful to have found this. And then, as you can see, I have a big box here. Actually, 4 of these. But I live in a very tiny apartment. So what you see here is actually a desk. It's a IKEA desk on Mittenbach legs that we have set at dining room table height. I have benches that go on either side so we can have a table. And it's our multi-purpose thing. Our dining room is really tiny. So think of a desk that's as big as my dining room is to put it in scale. And over here is a fireplace. And over there, the white is my deep freeze. I have a 7 cubic foot deep freeze. That was one of our family presents. I always do family presents, and so that's going to help us save even more money on groceries this year, because I can buy food in bulk. And I can also, I don't have room to can in this apartment. There's just not room to do canning. I used to can all the time when I lived in the Midwest. I love canning, but we just don't have anywhere to can, plus we have nowhere to store it. So we are down to freezer. So anything I can prep and freeze is what I'm going to be doing. So part of that is these boxes. So I got 4 of these. So they're labeled for juicing. So they're the ones that weren't considered grade 1 for produce. That's how I was raised. There's 1 and 2. 1 is the stuff that goes to the grocery store, and grade 2 is used for applesauce and juices and that kind of thing. So these were grade 2 apples. So I got 2 cases of that. That's 40 pounds, which is a bushel, almost a whole bushel of apples, because a bushel of apples, if I remember right, is 40 pounds. So I got that. And then I got a 20-pound crate of number 2 pears, which I didn't bring the box up here because there isn't room to do that. So I just pulled one out. So I got 20 pounds of green pears, and I got 20 pounds of red pears. I've never had a red pear. I don't know what they taste like. If my family doesn't like the red pears, I will find a homeless shelter to go donate 20 pounds of red pears, because I'm sure somebody would love to have red pears if my family doesn't like it. If my family's like me, I'll put it in breads, muffins, etc. I'll disguise it in food, for lack of a nice way to say it. So that will be my project for this coming week, is because I have 20 pounds of red, 20 pounds of green pears, and then 40 pounds of the apples. So that is my project for this week. So in my freezer will go 80 pounds of processed apples, pears, etc. So if you know any really good recipes that work for apples, pears, that can be frozen, please let me know. Again, I just can't do canning here. I would can them in a heartbeat if I could. But there just isn't space. My apartment is very tiny. I have an 800 square foot apartment, so it is what it is. And Heartway Farms Annie says, make do with what you have, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're making do as we have the space, and we're getting really clever with how we store things. As we go along and you see more of my videos on crafting and everything, you'll see how everything is multi-purpose. It has to be. So the other bench, when it's not there, is our shoe bench. So it gets moved around the apartment a lot. So it sits by the shoe rack. And then when dinner time comes, we move it back over and we have dinner. And then after dinner, we move it out of the way because it's actually in the hallway. So from the edge of this table over is only about 4 feet roughly. So but we can come in from that side, and we can come in from this side. The side's the galley kitchen, and the side's is hallway. So yeah, so people can come from both directions. So the only person who has it really bad is the person in this spot, because the wall's here and then there's a human here, so they're pretty much stuck in their spot for the whole meal. But yeah, it works. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I gave you a good laugh for the day about how my family survives living in a tiny Northeast apartment. Hopefully someday we can go home to the Midwest. My goal always has been to have our hobby farm, and that's still our goal. We lived in the South for 10 years before we came to the Northeast, and we're originally from the Midwest. And so going back to the South or the Midwest would be wonderful. Who knows where God's going to send us, but that's our goal. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And please definitely leave me a like and a subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video. And please let me know if there's any content you'd like to hear. I'll be sharing more of my crafting videos coming up, hopefully. Working on some projects currently, so I'll throw those in as well. If there's any topics that you want to know about, because I'm really good at budgeting. It's something I've had to do for a very long time. So you can have a really great life and still budget and stay within scope. So very huge into that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please give me a like and subscribe below. And please let me know what type of content you'd like to see. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Bye.